Welcome. This is amazing. I have to tell you, this is like a dream for me. I promised I wouldn't get emotional, but I have wished for a beautiful space for all of the youth that come to the Youth Zone for so many years, and we finally have it. And I just need to say, you all deserve it. It's just beautiful. For those who don't know me, which I think most of you do, my name is Debbie Jacobson. I'm the Administrative Director of the Revere Health Center. And I want to thank you for coming to this wonderful event today, especially the children and families of our youth. I would also like to recognize the elected officials here today. Mayor Brian Arrigo, Joanna McKenna of the Revere City Council. Joanne, there you are. Carol Ty, Revere School Committee. And Barbara Bishop from Speaker DeLeo's office. The Youth Zone has called many locations home over the years, and as time has progressed, it has become an incredible resource for this city's youth. When we opened in 1997, we had a small space, staffed by a physician and a nurse practitioner. What started in 1997 as a small medical clinic for teens, open 1 day per week, has grown into a safe place for youth to develop positive life skills in a caring environment. When I arrived at the health center many years ago, the Youth Zone was in its infancy, and during my time I have watched it grow. I am tremendously proud of the center, the youth, and the staff that make this all possible. Throughout the years, the Youth Zone has depended on the generosity of others, Mass General, the City of Revere, the First Congregational Church, the Alces Foundation, and others who have contributed space, funding, and other resources, keeping us going. But today, we have our very own home. Most of the students who come to the Youth Zone live here in Revere and walk to the center after school. Many of them come from low-income, single-parent families where parents often work long hours to meet the needs of their families. They live with complicated restraints of poverty, substance abuse, and food insecurities in their homes and neighborhoods. The Youth Zone focuses on supporting the resiliencies evident in each and every one of the children. We encourage the development of life skills and support our students to make healthy choices. We offer cooking classes, homework support, arts and crafts, and a variety of programs that enhance skills. At this time, I'd like to introduce the manager of the Youth Zone, Leslie Heffron. Leslie will tell you a bit more about the Youth Zone program and our new space. She will also share with you a short video that will give you a snapshot of the Youth Zone programs and the opportunities it gives to the children of Revere.
Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Put my glasses on. Welcome Youth Zone members, families, MGH, and community members to our new home. I'd like to introduce our senior staff to you. Mike Lenson, come on up, Mike, is our educational coordinator. Eliza Abdu Glass and Kylie Callahan are our youth outreach workers. Eliza is our current youth outreach worker, and Kylie just graduated from the Youth Zone. She's now on to Loyola University in Chicago, where she's going to be studying to get her PhD in child psychology. So she just left. It is our great pleasure to spend time with our Youth Zone members after school and during vacations. We try to help the children develop academically, physically, and socially. So please watch this short video, which will give you an idea of what we do.
All of those smiles are wonderful to see. That really just tells the story. Again, I get emotional when I look at this because it's unbelievable where we've come from. Next, I would like to introduce Brian Arrigo, Mayor of the City of Revere. As most of you know, Mr. Arrigo was a 2-term city councilor before becoming our mayor earlier this year. He has been a great supporter of the Youth Zone thus far, and we know he will continue to be. Mayor Arrigo.
So good evening, everyone. Let's hear it for the beautiful space that we have here. And so this is the newest addition to our central business district in downtown Revere, and I can't be more proud of what we see here tonight. It really is a testament to the great work that you've done. And the city of Revere has a lot to offer as a community, but one thing that I've heard time and time again is about the need for additional programming for our youth and for adolescents, and I think that gap is starting to be filled, and the Youth Zone is going to go a long way in filling that, and this space is wonderful. So thank you for making that investment, and thank you for believing in the city. Obviously, as most of you saw earlier in the video, early on in my tenure across the street, I was able to meet a couple of the kids and had them come into my office, and I have to say, aside from the difficult questions that they gave me, which kind of had me on my heels a little bit, it was like a little bit of a lesson in making sure that you know everything about everything. But I have to say, I walked away from that experience really impressed with the passion and I think the vitality that the kids had, and it kind of opened my eyes to some of the work that you all do, and I do appreciate it. It's amazing work. And finally, I just want to say to the MGH community as a whole, thank you for your partnership. It really has been, at least in my first 6 months, I feel like there's a great synergy between the city and my office and Mass General Hospital, and I look forward to continuing that, and we're here to be partners, and we're here to make a better community in every aspect we can. So thank you again, and I appreciate this. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Harwood Egan, Chief of Pediatrics here at the Revere Health Center. I have worked with Dr. Egan for the past 18 years, and he has always been a strong advocate for our program.
Coming after the mayor and before Roger is really interesting. Normally, I never have to worry about saying anything because Roger goes first, and he talks a lot. But today, I was informed that I was going first, so I decided I better just jot down a few things. But this is not a scripted talk. This comes from my heart. So, as a pediatrician, I always have in mind the trajectory of an infant to becoming a responsible, successful adult. Someone who feels competent and good about themselves, what we call true self-esteem, the foundation of success. It's clear that parents and schools, and even us pediatricians, cannot do this alone. Youth Zone, spawned some 20 years, nod to Roger, is a simple idea with far-reaching effects. Compelling, don't you think? Yet why don't we see more efforts like this? Finances, space are certainly some of the barriers, although here at M.G.H. and Partners, we're lucky to get support. But I don't think that's the only problem. I think success in programs like this requires something more important: passion, commitment, and of course leadership and vision. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie, you and your staff are doing work that is truly inspirational. You're doing what all of us in pediatrics hope we can say one day. You're changing lives and making a difference. I am so proud to have you as a partner in our pediatric department. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Sally Isles, there you are, Associate Vice President of Department of General Medicine. And Sally has been, for me personally, a strong mentor for me, as well as a support, and has been very supportive in helping us get this new space. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. I feel very, very lucky to work with the health centers and the primary care practices that are part of MGH. And I have to say, when I came into this space for the first time, it just made me feel good. It's so beautiful. We are so very, very proud of the work that our health centers do, whether it's the clinical services they provide or the special, the other kind of programs that have benefits for the communities in different ways. I have watched the youth zone evolve over the years, and I have to say that these programs here are better than they have ever been. We appreciate Debbie recognizing the need and creating the programs and supporting them over the years, and more recently, Leslie and Michael, the creativity they've shown and the hard work they've put in here to create this set of programs. It's just fantastic. And Leslie is my sister, so I'm really proud of her for doing that. Finally, we have beautiful, beautiful space, and Dr. Egan reminded me that this space was the place for M.G.H. Revere before it moved into its space in Ocean Ave and expanded tenfold in that space. So in all ways, our involvement in this community is growing and getting better. You saw in the video that a lot of the activities happen here, but these kids get around. Especially during the summer camp, they go to Boston and they go to Gloucester and they go to working farms and they go to museums, and I want to work here. I have a friend who used to send his young daughters off to school, and he'd say, have fun and learn a lot. And I think that that is an apt description of what goes on here in this center. It is a very special place with very special members. And I just want to say thank you to everyone involved in making it happen, and that's the MGH faculty and the staff, the donors who help make this possible, the city officials, and most of all, the kids who create a positive environment for one another when they're here. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce Joan Quinlan, Vice President for Community Health at Mass General Hospital. Joan and her team have been great supporters of the Youth Zone. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. In the mission statement of Mass General Hospital, it says, and we improve the health and well-being of the diverse communities we serve. And that's what the Youth Zone is doing with this incredibly beautiful space. I remember when I started 21 years ago, we convened a committee in Revere. Carol Ty was there. I don't think anyone else here. Raise your hand if you were. And the first thing that group identified as a problem they wanted to work on was, in fact, positive alternative activities for young people. They identified teen drinking, but they said really kids need something positive, something constructive, a place they can form peer relationships, have adult mentors, and that's what you've done. And we're so proud to have been able to support that. I think everyone has said it, but I just want to stop and say really, well, the kids need to be congratulated. The city officials, Brian, need to be congratulated. Really, there's three people I think I really want to point out. One is Roger for his incredible leadership of the health center and being so supportive of allowing and making this all to happen. And the second is Sally Isles, because really Associate Vice Presidents of General Internal Medicine usually focus on clinical care, but Sally gets how this is related to the health of a community. And then really Debbie Jacobson. I've watched Debbie's passion and commitment and vision and dedication. And Debbie, we all know this couldn't have happened without you. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Our parents appreciate the Youth Zone as much as the students who participate in our programs. I'd like to invite up a parent, Donna. Now, I'm not going to pronounce your name right. I'm going to try. Akoni, I did it. Whose son, Stephen, is a regular at the Youth Zone. And she's here to share what the Youth Zone means to her and Stephen. Donna?
Hi, everyone. Thank you. When I was asked to speak, I'm just going to be honest, I have a little bit of a brain injury, so I wrote everything down. This is from my heart. This is just the first draft. So first of all, I want to say to all who worked so hard to make this happen, you're all brilliant. Because I am a recreational therapist and I work primarily with elder, and I know what it takes to have a really good program. And I know what it takes to make an exceptional program. And I see it here. I've seen many programs. I have 3 children. This is my youngest. And I've gone through just to get them with peers. This is an amazing program. And it was before this space. I'm just blessed that he's part of it. One thing that I noticed, they zone in on your resources within the youth to be developed, rather than the problems to be managed. And that relates with all children. My son happens to have autism. And I moved from Winthrop to here, and I didn't have any source of program. I was desperate. I had to work full-time, and I bought a house, so it's not cheap. So I was shocked that it was, to be honest with you, free. And like it blew my mind. And I was like basically begging if you could please try to take my son. And Debbie and Leslie were like, yeah, we'll try it. So it worked out fabulous. And one thing I noticed about my son's peers is they used to be over here and he used to be over there. Now he's with them. So he's teaching them life skills as well. If you know anything with anybody with disabilities, because I think being around people with diversity is so important. And that's where ignorance becomes, here's the thing again. Where ignorance develops is when they're not around or exposed to different diverse populations of people. So anyway, the healthy nutrition and education that is implemented is amazing, because I do that at home. And I just can't thank you enough, because I try to walk my son because he loves to eat. But healthy foods, Mike, my son, loves him like he's a brother. Kylie, too. I mean, I can't even say enough. I cannot say enough. I'll do whatever you guys want, because it's been so good. The enriching programs that create, and you see they're always busy. Some places, they kick it off good, and then they just let it become stale. I've never seen that here. It's always moving and moving and moving. And I'm like that in my work, and I see it here, and I'm amazed. It's awesome. It takes a lot of work to do that, a lot of work. I have a director to help me. It's a lot of work. Like I said, I'm a single mom with no help. This has been amazing to me. And Leslie and Mike will call me or whatever and tell me what's going on. I just can't even say enough. Oh yeah, I also thought this. I'm shocked there's not a wait list to get in here. I am shocked that there is not a wait list to get in here, because this is an unbelievable program. And like I said, I've seen quite a few. So again, all involved, I'm grateful to Mass General, the City of Revere, Debbie, Leslie, Mike, Kylie, and the rest of yous. I truly am. Your kindness, patience, and truly giving of your hearts is amazing, amazing. Congratulations to your new home. This program is much deserving of such a beautiful space. And don't make me cry, because you almost did. Thank you for bearing with me. It's been a little. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Donna. Today we've talked a lot about the kids, those who participate and benefit from the Youth Zone program. Before we close today, we have two youth who are here to talk about the Youth Zone, its new space, and how the program has impacted them and their lives. First, I'd like to introduce Jair, who is a current member of the Youth Zone and has been coming here for the past 4 years. Jair?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Jair. I'm 17 years old, and I attend to Revere High School. Why can I talk about the Youth Zone? Well, the Youth Zone, it's been like a stress relief for me. I have AP classes, and oh my God, they're really hard. All right. So when I come here, staff Michael, he always is like, "Hey, come on, let's go play soccer or let's go play basketball." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Michael." He helps me get my stress relieved. And okay, so I came to United States a while ago, right? And the first thing I did is come to this program. And since then, my confidence of talking to people in English has become amazing. Like, look at me, I'm oh, yeah, see? Yeah, oof. Well, these programs has helped me a lot, and all these people are like my family, and I just want to thank you all. Thank you.
Jair is amazing. He really is. I'm not just saying it because you're in the room, but he's great, and he's great with the younger kids as well. He's a great role model, and we love having you, and we're very proud of you. I'd like to introduce now Matt, who's a graduate of our program, and is going to be beginning his junior year at Worcester State. Correct? Clark, got it. Okay, I knew it was on that side of Massachusetts. And Matt is truly a success story.
Got my speech all ready to go here. First of all, I'd like to say thanks. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Big thanks to all the staff for putting in so much time and effort. Mike, Eliza, Kylie, everybody else out there. And so many thanks to Debbie Jacobson. Just years of so much hard work. I can only imagine how difficult it was to get this space. As she said, I'm going into my junior year at Clark University, where I plan to get my degree in English. I've been coming to the Youth Zone for 10 years. Don't let the young face fool you. 10 years I've been coming here, and oh my God, how much it has changed. From starting off down at the rec center, into the high school, into the church down on Beach Street, and now here, this place is amazing. So many different rooms. It's a serious step up, and we deserve it. We absolutely do. We've come a long way and seen a lot of changes. A lot of changes in people, in places, but the one thing that will always stay the same is the staff. It may not always be the same people, but there's only one reason that you would do a job like this, and it's because you care. You really have to care. It can be a thankless job at times, and you only would do it if you're really committed. This place has had an immense impact on my life. I've been coming here since I was a camper when I was 10. I've worked my way up through the peer leaders, doing community service, counselor in training, to a counselor, and now I'm off in college, and I'm now studying to become a teacher. I don't know if I can emphasize how much this place has really changed my life. It's an amazing place. Thank you.
I do remember Matt when he was younger. It's pretty scary. It's been a long time. Before I introduce Dr. Burzynski, I do want to thank everybody for their kind words, and it's just touched me in a way I can't even tell you. And just that you all are here today to help us celebrate this new space means so much to me, and Leslie, and Mike, and Eliza, and Kylie, and so thank you. So lastly, I want to introduce Dr. Burzynski, Director of the Revere Health Center. Throughout my tenure here at MGH, Dr. Burzynski has always supported all my efforts. He has listened to me. He listened to me be frustrated. He listened to me, watched me even cry about it when I was trying to get a space and a new home for us. But he always listened, and he always does listen. And that's what kept me going. And he kept pushing me and not to give up. And I didn't give up. And now we're here, and we have it. We have our space, and you're all here to celebrate. So I'm going to ask Dr. Burzynski to come up to do closing remarks and also help with the ribbon cutting.
How much time do I have? So I'm, for those of you who don't know me, I'm the long-winded type. So, so the way we run the health center is I get long-winded, and then Debbie kicks me a couple of times and shuts me up, and then we get to the action steps at the end of the meeting, and everything's fine. So anyway, what a wonderful event here. It's great to look out and see all the wonderful faces, and especially all the young faces. So this is really a great event for a great center. Everything is fitting just perfectly. So first of all, I'd like to do a bunch of thank yous. I know there's been thank yous going around, so I want to thank Brian, thank Mayor Arrigo for coming today, taking time out of his busy work schedule. I want to thank our wonderful elected officials, and Carol, I don't think I've been at a Revere event where you haven't been, so let me know if there's a...
For the MGH.
You are really wonderful, and especially when it has to do with supporting kids. You've always been there for us. I want to personally and publicly thank Sally Isles and Joan Quinlan for their supportive words, but also for really many, many years of behind-the-scenes support for the kind of work that we love to do in Revere. And so I think you both know what I'm saying, so the rest of you can just think about how much support it takes to pull off a place like this and to pull off a program like this. I think it's been mentioned, and it's a lot. And so we always have to have support at the top. And a lot of corporations and a lot of organizations, the people at the top aren't really that open to this kind of programming. But Joan and Sally break the mold, and that's why they're here today. So it's great to have youth speak on an occasion like this, and Jair and Matthews, I really going to remember all your words. They were really cool. Thank you for speaking. I also thank you, Donna, for the really heartfelt words that you expressed from the side of a parent. So again, this is a program for kids, but when the kids come out of this program positively at 5:30 or 6, I hope they go home and make life more positive for the family that evening. So let us know. My friend Dr. Egan Harwood, our unit chief, has been a supporter more than 30 years of all kinds of progressive work for kids, starting the first day of life, he doesn't discharge his patients at 18 or 21. He holds on to them till 24 or 25. I can attest to that because he's actually the pediatrician for my two 20-year-old sons. So thank you, Harwood, for your support. Leslie, you have the creative flair for video. So when I retire, I hope you do mine. I hope it's as cool as this one. You can use the same music, just put, some faces on it. So, and I don't know if Vinny Accessory is here, our landlord.
No, he didn't.
Didn't come? Okay, so I wanted to thank him because he's done a great job building out this gorgeous space. So as our speakers have so clearly pointed out, it truly takes a village to raise teens that are healthy in body, mind, and spirit. This center is a very positive place in our community village that Brian and all the elected officials and all of us are trying to build. The stresses that our teens feel are very complex and at times seem overwhelming for us adults to understand. The explosion of video and internet information at their fingertips, both good and bad, is something that my generation never could imagine. So we need to give our kids the tools and the support to allow them to fulfill their futures and to live lives of purpose and joy. So that's the end of my formal remarks. There's one more important thing I need to do. We really need to recognize and acknowledge today the superb efforts of the one person who over the last 18 years has consistently made it her mission to bring best practice after-school programming to the neediest kids in Revere. As many of you know, Debbie is a marathon runner. She has approached the development of this center like training and running a marathon. And just like the marathon, our youth zone has had its ups and downs and heartbreak hills over many of the years. It has been Debbie Jacobson's consistent hard work and dedication to the mission and always keeping her eyes on the prize that has brought us to this beautiful center today with this really outstanding programming. So without her, believe you me, none of this would have been possible. So please assist me, and I'm going to ask everybody to stand up to give this wonderful woman a standing ovation, a round of applause for her accomplishment.
Yeah, I got roses.
Right here, please. And my only regret in life is I never got to run a marathon with her. It's called Old Bad Knees. So let's cut some ribbon.
Yes. Ribbon. Okay. Ready officially?
So we want to do another ribbon with the kids. So all the kids come up. We got plenty of ribbon here.
Yeah.
The kids plus Debbie plus the mayor and their staff. So
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Debbie, you need to get in the middle with the kids here. All right.